Hey there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All educational videos and tutorials. In today's video, we are continuing with learning Game Maker with learning Towers vs Monsters Game Maker official tower defense template, and in specific we are going to try to change menu buttons. So in previous few videos we have changed how those buttons looks. That is this video, how to change menu buttons look. That means we have changed the graphics, the sprite, the image of it, and it worked well in terms of we have learned how to do it, so you can do your custom images, custom graphic art, and make your game unique, different from other people's game, from other people's who are using this template. Same with title, although with title we get a little bit further. We have learned how to import, or maybe let's say add title in a new layer, assets layer, but in general we also created more like a change in terms of change some space, position, orientation, scale, and so on. In this video we're going to try to add new buttons. In terms of, we have problems with these buttons here so far in our game, that they are actually not objects. They are not objects in terms of how we can see them in our room. Instead, they are sequence. Sequence is like animation container for object. You make some kind of animation in workspace, in sequences folder. You create right click, create sequence, and put some images, sprites, or objects, instances in that animation sequence, and then you have like some kind of container which you can think of some sealed space, which is very limited in terms of you have to use it as a block, as a container, as a whole piece. It's not very flexible, and sometimes that makes sense. For example, those guys, sorry, not we, but those guys who created this template, they created the animation for those two buttons, so we can see that now when the game starts they pop up from the bottom and go up in the space, and that's the animation, and you can click then on the button and the game starts. That is okay for some games and for some ideas, for some game designers, but what happens if I want my buttons to be straight away one here under this monsters logo positioned here, another here? So because I have animation here as a sequence, I can say that I'm blocked in terms of I don't have much options. I can just use the sequence, change the style, image style of it. The image is the sprites, as we have already did, maybe add some more animation later in the sequence and so on, but I would have to enter the sequence, change it, and so on. So my game designer, for example, that can be the goal of this video. My game designer, my client says, okay, I don't want buttons animated, do that. So from that point of perspective, I don't need these two buttons now as animated sequence. They are too much. I don't need animation. So how can I select those and pull them out of the sequence and use them on the screen as simple objects, just like simple object instance, drag and drop and click, and it works. First of all, I have to find that layer, so I will go out and hide everything, then go layer by layer. Okay, we have seen that background is just a simple background image. That makes sense. Instances, we have only one instance, some kind of manager, that's not it. So sequences, yeah, they are here. We have learned that we can check and uncheck them like this to make them available for export or not. So we have unchecked the title because we said, okay, I don't need title like this, I need it scaled and bigger, and we did that with this title import as image as sprite. So that's why we in sequences uncheck this export sequence menu title. But let me try now to check these two buttons. Can I just pull them up and divide them? I need the play button below and X buttons for quitting the game above. I cannot do that. That's the problem, and that's why I'm making this video, because it's different from this, how to change the look in terms of some people may need this as simple as it looks, and it actually is. You again, because we have using the GameMaker template, official GameMaker Tower vs Monsters template, you would have to delete the sequences or uncheck them or somehow just disable them, and some people just don't know how to do it. This is like something you don't need too much, and from time to time you will hit that wall and see lots of things. The more complex game you need, the more things you will have to or more custom you will have to disable, delete from the original template, and then do it in some other way. So again, this sequence, when I click on sequence and click on the sequence menu button, I can double click it and I have some kind of window saying here, zoom in, okay, saying what is the position of this sequence. It's 0 0, animation speed 1. Okay, I'm not going to change that here by typing some numbers, but I will try to remember that position for X and Y, and in this case it's simple because it's 0 0. But let me, for example, I want to first of all I want to unhide all of my assets here. Then I want to move this sequence here, like, okay, I want my play button here, my X button here, but it doesn't work like that. You can see that they are sealed together like in some kind of block container. That's what they said about animation sequences. If you make animation sequence of a couple of blocks, they will act together, move, scale, or so on. So okay, I want this here, that doesn't work, but let me try this just like this. Maybe this will be good enough without animation. But the problem is I have just moved the buttons. The animation will be still here. So you can see how it pops up. It started here where I want, but because it's animated sequence, it goes whoop, like this, because that's how it's animated. Let's see that one more time. Yeah, so this is unusable. This is not good for my games, so I will just try to, I will try to double click on this sequence here in my inspector just to change the X and Y to 0 again. X and Y to 0 again. Zoom out, center fit, zoom out, and it looks like we're back on the start. Okay, so we have learned that sequences can be a problem if you use them from other people or from other templates, assets, and so on. Sometimes they will not do the work. Okay, I will uncheck this one too. Then I will uncheck it to like this, and maybe even hide the whole sequence layer. So we start with this as our starting point. We have tried with sequences, but no luck. Let us make the buttons as we learned how to do before. So let me first click on the workspace and try to find buttons objects. So sequences folder, I will close it because I don't want to mess with that. I want to click on objects folder, buttons, and try to find obj button start, and obj button quit game. Those two buttons are very similar. You can see that they use some kind of same blueprint. If I zoom in a little bit more, you can see that in events they have create, begin step, draw GUI, user event 0. That's 5 events for start button, and same for quit game button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 events. Those events are the same. Code is a little bit different in terms of they called different text variables, and they have different user events. If you click on it, this one says exit game, and this one here start says go to room level 1. The problem here is that I don't want these buttons to look like this. Again, I have downloaded this template. That's all cool. I can use lots of things from it, code, whatever, but I don't want to use everything just because they gave it to me. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. For example, this is too complex for my game. I don't need these text variables. I don't need parent event. What is that? We haven't even learned that yet. I don't need audio, for example, and so on. So I will make new buttons, simple as that. draw GUI, no. I will close these two buttons and just create simple new buttons, new buttons. So click on buttons folder in objects, create object and call it obj underscore button start, and you can underscore and says mine or custom, original, whatever. Press enter. We have named that object, and we want to have the sprite for it to be, click on this sprite, field sprites. I want this sprite button custom play. Yeah, okay. We don't have code. Maybe we are beginners, we don't know anything about code, just simple stuff, or forget easily. So let me open this obj button start from the game maker programmers and see what I can use. I don't want to use those variables for text because my button has image, so I don't need this create button. User event, go to room level 1. Okay, so when do I want to go to room level 1? I want to do that when my mouse is left released or pressed or down. There isn't much difference in this example because it's simple, but let's say pressed. We want to register that as once, and I want to maybe again I am beginner, I don't know where that block is in it. I will just click on this go to room, copy from one object, click in other, right click, paste, and here it is. Even with comments, I have comments. Cool. So my button is, I think, more or less ready. All I have to do is now click on the room menu, click on the asset on the left side, and drag and drop this obj button start custom. I cannot do that because I'm on the wrong layer, so I have to go to inspector, select instances layer, go back to assets, and now yeah. So I think this will work, but let's try it. No animation, simple button. Yeah, so we have changed a bit of that, and the whole idea here is that I had intro which was like 10 minutes, but this was like a couple of minutes just to work. The whole idea here is that now with my game designer I can make my game like whatever I want it to look like. You want button here under his legs, okay, here under his over his head, now it's below because my layer instances layer is below the title. but we can, I think we can drag and drop, yeah, like this. Now it will be above, so we have learned one more thing. So you can see how it's easy to change things. I think I can even, yeah, rotate or scale. Does it make sense for me to scale this button? Yeah, like this. This is too much. Oops, I did something now wrong. Undo. It doesn't have. Yeah, this. Yeah, this is, I think this is better. So you can see how easy it is to customize your game and make it different from the original which you got from them. Same goes with this exit button, exit the game. You can do that on your own. I don't want to make these videos every video like half an hour. I will do that in offline, but the same thing goes for here. We want the button quit game to look like this with X, but without all of this code. Actually, this is really simple. I will do that right now. Buttons create object, call it obj underscore button. I'm making these names as they are here already with original naming convention here, but you can make it shorter, like use btn for button, or just say obj b quit or whatever. So I will use it like they did, but sometimes it will make more sense to make it shorter. Obj button quit game underscore custom. I need sprite, I need image for that game, so I will click and find my custom image, not the one which they gave us, and I need to find the code for it. I'm beginner, so I don't know what this is. I don't need it. I don't need to draw anything with code. I draw it already on the screen with my sprite in the object. And I need this guy here, exit game. So I will click it from their code, original code, copy, left click, then right click, left click to select it, then right click to find the copy, then go to add event, again what we have used here for obj button start, left pressed. Okay, so I need that event here, add event, mouse left pressed, right click, paste, exit game, and that's it. Okay, bye for now, see you in next video.